Slices. It's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting here, and I am about to review Season 7, Episode 3 of The Walking Dead. I did live tweet it tonight, so if you guys live tweet stuff, be sure to follow me. I will put my Twitter handle here, and we can just talk about the episode as it's happening. So we'll get started talking about this little video montage that they show of Dwight. And Dwight was the person who has been trying to kill Daryl and who stole, Daryl's bike, and has really been an antagonist for Daryl in particular. He's also the guy that got his penis bitten by Eugene, which is freaking hilarious. But anyways, we see a video montage of Dwight being like one of Negan's best guys, and he's going to other communities, taking their resources, finding resources that they have hidden away from Negan, and making sandwiches, and after all that, playing games and watching old videos of TV shows. And we cut to this place where there's this weird pit that they have walkers in, and then there's some live people in there, and there's, zombies with buckets on their heads. I don't know. I watched the whole episode, and I still don't know what that is about, but whatever. So, he was watching one walker in particular. I don't know what was up with that, but we do see something similar happening towards the end of the episode. And so we see that Daryl is getting fed dog food between two buns, which is yucky. And we see that he is naked and dirty and afraid in a cell. And they are torturing him musically. I don't remember the song because I have subconsciously blocked it out, which is something that Daryl cannot do. But they're playing this song over and over, and I'm thinking, okay, we're just hearing that. And then you can see him flinch when it comes on. So they're playing this song over and over, and they're attempting to break him. And we'll talk about that a little later. So they throw him some clothes. It has the letter, it's like sweats, and it has the letter A on it in red. And they take Daryl to the doctor. And when they go into the doctor's office, they see Sherry. And Sherry is Dwight's wife, who has been taken away from him by Negan. And apparently, Dwight has been cuckolded, and we learned a little bit about that later. But Dwight sees a pregnancy test on the table, and she reassures Dwight that it is negative. And so Sherry tries to talk to Daryl, and Dwight stops her, and all of that was a little confusing for me, but later on I got some clarity on it. And so Dwight had to make Daryl kneel to Negan, which is something that they do apparently. And while they're trying to break Daryl, they are telling him, you can either be like those walkers out there in that weird pit area, or you can be like me, as in one of Negan's, enforcers, or one of Negan's men. And so, Daryl simply tells him, I'm never gonna kneel. So, Daryl is still the same person that he is, and he has not been broken yet, which is great, because I'm tired of seeing people get broken. I mean, Rick is already broken, and I don't need Daryl breaking as well. So next we see, next Negan is talking to Dwight, and something comes over the radio about something wrong happening, and that, Negan was saying, Dwight, you don't have to do any of the grunt work anymore. Essentially, you've proven yourself, and now you can let, other people that are lower on the food chain handle those types of things. And that's when we learn that Negan has taken Sherry away from him, when Negan offers Dwight to, sleep with Sherry for old time's sake. And then he's like, oh, I'm just playing with you. And then he offers him any of the women, I guess, in Negan's camp. And, Dwight just turns him down. And that's where we see that this relationship between them is really not okay with Dwight, but he puts up a front for his own sake with Negan. And so we see like hands, severed hands tied to a statue. I don't know what that was all about, but while Dwight is away, someone else feeds Daryl, and Daryl notices, just like I noticed, that no one locked the door. So he escapes, and he's, you know, trying to make his way out, and Sherry approaches him and says, you know, you need to go back. If you are caught, things will get worse for you. And just when you think things are the worst, there will always be more. And he doesn't listen. He tries to escape to this area where there are motorcycles. And then like 8 of the guys come out, and Negan comes out with Lucille. And, you know, he's saying you have 3 options. You can be a zombie in that zombie pit. You can work for points. Or you can be one of my, you know, enforcers, one of the men that were surrounding him at the time. And, you know, Negan goes around the circle and asks, who are you? And, you know, they all say that I am Negan. And Negan was saying that this was a test for you to see if you understood the concept that I am everywhere. That, you know, you really only have 3 choices. There is no door number 4. So Daryl is still not giving up, which, you know, is great for us as an audience, but not great for Daryl as the character. And he proceeds to try to you know, beat up as many people as he can. At first, Negan threatens to hit him with Lucille, and Daryl does not even flinch. And I'm like, you know, he still has some strong will or whatever. And after they beat him up, and in the meantime, we see Dwight. I didn't hear what happened on the radio to see where what assignment Dwight was actually going on, but there's this weird part where he is under a freeway and he sees that there are zombies on the ground or whatever, and one of them falls out of the sky and almost gets him. And eventually we see that Dwight is kind of like a slave catcher, going to catch someone that Negan, that was a part of Negan's camp. And we learned that this guy also had a wife who had passed away or was killed. And they were in a similar situation as Dwight and Sherry. And he said that, you know, we had thought that our lives would be better once we got into Negan's camp, and they realized that they were worse. And the guy was like, you know, you have this gun pointed in my face, go ahead and kill me, because this is not life. And he was like, you know, if you don't get up and walk right now, I'm going to, you know, torture all the people you have ever spoken to, and I am going to dig up your dead wife and let the crows eat her body. So the guy concedes, and he's like, you know, I'll keep going, but you know that this is really not what life is supposed to be. And the guy turns around and walks, and Dwight kills him anyway. And I didn't understand Dwight's mindset at that point, but whatever. So next, oh, and we see that he messed up Daryl's bite, and he just effed that all up. But Sherry is at the door after they get Daryl back in his cell, and Sherry says, you know, the last time I saw you, we were taking your things, and I told you I was sorry, and now I am. And you know, she really is. And they so Sherry and Dwight have a secret meeting on the 5th floor staircase, just like Alicia Keys in Teenage Love Affair. And they talk about how the situation that they're in now is better than being dead. And no, absolutely no. I seriously doubt that. But I guess they have both accepted that they are not husband and wife anymore, and that, you know, this is their life. So yeah, it's a big fat lie though. And so Dwight, you know, talks to Daryl one more time, and he tells him, you got your friend killed, I got Tina killed, this is, you know, the way things are. He hands him a picture of what I assume, I couldn't really see the picture, of what I assumed was what Glenn looked like after his head had been bashed in by Negan. And we see that Daryl has thrown up and, you know, has kind of passed out from being very upset after he played like a new song, something about crying, and Daryl just got very emotional. And so later on, Dwight brings Daryl to Negan, and Negan tells the story about how he cuckolded Dwight, and how Sherry had a sister named Tina that we saw that was diabetic and needed insulin. And so Negan prepositioned Sherry to be his wife, and he said, I'll take care of you, and you know, your sister will have all the medicine that she needs. So at this point is when they stole the medicine and they went on the run, and that's where they met Daryl initially, while they were on the run from Negan and his people. And so finally, after Tina passes away, and Negan said that he was going to marry Tina, but she ended up dying, and Sherry said that she would marry Negan if Dwight got to stay alive. But I think Negan said, from what I gather, Negan said that even though that deal worked for him, it didn't work for Lucille, and I guess he hit Lucille on the side of the face, and that's where all the scars and stuff come from. But anyways, so we learn all about that situation, and we see how powerless Dwight is, and how Dwight has to just be okay with the way things are. And Daryl says, you know, he's still Daryl, he's not going to be Negan, which is great, you know, like I said, for us, but not necessarily for him. And next we see the dude that that Dwight shot, the one that he was slave catching, and we see that he has become a zombie in the zombie pit now. So next time we are back to Alexandra. This episode was interesting, to say the least, and it was a little sad. In the next episode, we see Rick giving the people of Alexandra the lay of the land, that he's not in charge anymore, and that Negan is in charge. And to me, that is just heartbreaking. Overall, he's been a really great leader, and to see him be in this position of not being in charge anymore and being at somebody else's mercy is really going to take a lot out of me. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I live tweet, so be a part of the discussion and follow me on Twitter. Thanks you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace out, home slices.